This transcript captures a short speech delivered by a royal patron at an event held at Buckingham Palace. The speaker expresses gratitude for several aspects of the event, highlighting the privilege of using the palace as a venue, the contributions of the speakers and chair, and the audience's engagement. The speech also emphasizes the speaker's role as a patron of the organizing organization and the honor of addressing the attendees. This analysis will delve into the nuances of the speech, examining its structure, its key messages, and the underlying context that informs its delivery. The opening remarks immediately establish a tone of warmth and appreciation. The speaker begins by expressing their pleasure at being present and their enthusiasm for the event's celebratory nature. This sets a positive and welcoming atmosphere, laying the groundwork for the subsequent expressions of gratitude. The opening remarks establish a warm and appreciative tone. The speaker then makes a point of acknowledging the royal patronage, emphasizing the fortunate circumstance of using Buckingham Palace as the venue. This acknowledgement subtly reinforces the significance of the event and the prestige associated with the royal connection. The speaker acknowledges the royal patronage and the prestige associated with the venue. The speaker's comment about potentially not being able to use Buckingham Palace in other aspects suggests a nuanced understanding of the limitations and protocols associated with royal patronage. This remark hints at the complexities of navigating royal relationships and the need for careful consideration in such matters. The speaker's comment about potentially not being able to use Buckingham Palace in other aspects suggests a nuanced understanding of royal protocols. The speaker then shifts their focus to express gratitude towards the event's speakers and chair, Professor Linbury, praising their contributions to broadening the event's appeal and stimulating audience engagement. This acknowledgement highlights the importance of intellectual contributions and the value placed on audience participation. The speaker expresses gratitude towards the event's speakers and chair. The speaker's emphasis on the audience's response and observations underscores the interactive nature of the event and the importance of audience feedback. This suggests a commitment to dialogue and a recognition of the audience's role in shaping the event's success. The speaker emphasizes the importance of audience response and observations. The speaker then explains their presence at the event, emphasizing that their role as patron was not self-appointed, but rather an invitation graciously accepted. This clarifies the speaker's role and reinforces the honor associated with their participation. The speaker clarifies their role as a patron, emphasizing that it was an invitation graciously accepted. The speaker's use of the phrase, "interestingly, if you like," before mentioning their role as patron suggests a degree of self-awareness and a subtle acknowledgement of the unusual circumstances of their participation. This adds a layer of informality and approachability to the speech. The speaker's use of the phrase, "interestingly, if you like," adds a layer of informality. The concluding remarks reiterate the speaker's gratitude towards the attendees for their participation and their contribution to the event's success. The use of "thank you very much" and the applause underscore the sincerity and warmth of the speaker's sentiments. The concluding remarks reiterate the speaker's gratitude towards the attendees. The brief mention of horses towards the end of the transcript suggests a possible aside or an interruption, possibly related to a comment or observation made by someone else present at the event. This adds a touch of informality and realism to the transcript, hinting at the spontaneous nature of live interactions. The brief mention of horses suggests a possible aside or interruption. The overall structure of the speech is characterized by its brevity, its focus on expressions of gratitude, and its emphasis on the collaborative nature of the event. The speaker skillfully balances formality and informality, creating a tone that is both respectful and engaging. The speech's structure is characterized by brevity and a focus on expressions of gratitude. The key messages conveyed in the speech include appreciation for the venue, recognition of the speaker's contributions, emphasis on audience engagement, and acknowledgement of the speaker's role as a patron. These messages work together to create a coherent and positive narrative around the event. The key messages conveyed include appreciation for the venue, recognition of the speaker's contributions, and emphasis on audience engagement. The underlying context of the speech, which is not explicitly stated in the transcript, is likely a formal event organized by a charitable organization or a group with a connection to the royal family. The use of Buckingham Palace as a venue, the presence of a professor as chair, and the speaker's role as a patron all suggest a context of formal yet approachable interaction. The underlying context suggests a formal event organized by a charitable organization. The speech's brevity and its focus on expressions of gratitude suggest a deliberate attempt to maintain a balance between formality and approachability. The speaker avoids lengthy or complex pronouncements, opting instead for concise and heartfelt expressions of appreciation. The speech's brevity and focus on gratitude suggest a deliberate attempt to maintain a balance between formality and approachability. In conclusion, this short speech offers a glimpse into the dynamics of a royal patronage event. The speaker's skillful use of language, their focus on expressions of gratitude, and their acknowledgement of the collaborative nature of the event create a positive and engaging narrative. The speech's brevity and informality suggest a deliberate attempt to foster a welcoming and appreciative atmosphere. The analysis concludes by summarizing the speech's key messages and its underlying context.